Hey, it's Joe here, and today we're going over my 8-scale Rover project. It's fully autonomous. It runs off of the Apm 2.6. I've pretty much taken an Exceed RC 8-scale rock crawler, the Max Stone rock crawler, and I've pretty much modified it from here on up. I removed the original frame braces and put in some nylon, and then I used that to mount a custom-made aluminum plate that I cut with my CNC router. It's just an 1/8 inch, I think it's 6000 series aluminum, I believe. I do have the drawing for this. If anybody wants it, you can cut it out of wood or plastic or metal like I did, if you have access to a CNC router, or just follow the blueprints and make it by hand. The roll cage is made out of nylon as well. The reason why I chose nylon is because since I do have a lot of transmitters, I didn't want to use anything metallic so to interfere with the transmission and reception of all the radio equipment. And plus the nylon is still very strong and reasonably lightweight. You can take this thing and roll it all the way around and none of the radio equipment can be damaged. Of course, it's not water resistant. That will be a future project perhaps, to make everything water resistant for the time being. It's dry day only. What I've done is I've also put in rear steering. So what I did was that I took a piece of aluminum angle and I used the stock stabilizer arm and made it into a steering arm, and just adding a servo to that and got rear wheel steering, which drastically decreases the turning radius. And I highly recommend it if you have an 8-scale rock crawler like this, or really any rock crawler. Makes the turning radius much narrower, and I really believe it also enhances the off-road capability. Some other things that I have is I also have some lights. I know they're a little cheesy, but they work incredibly well. Yes, these are the infamous free Harbor Freight flashlights. I simply have them tie wrapped into place, but you know, it's if it works, it works. The GPS is a Neo 6M, and it works very well. It also has the compass mounted inside of it, which, to get that away, the compass is a little better than the 2.5 that I had before. Some other things I have is I also have the on-screen display module, so I can get my telemetry and all that through my goggles. And of course, to match that is a 5.8 2-watt transmitter. I have a GoPro mount, so you can run a GoPro camera on it. Camera here is a 2.1 millimeter lens, so I get a nice wide view. It's also in a tilt and pan mount. So if you want to be able to record an adventure, you can always use the GoPro, but for just general FPV, I've got the camera mounted permanently. On the back here, I'm going to be adding a rear camera and putting in a video switcher so I can switch between the two. So of course, this is an ever ongoing project. Some other things that I've also added has been, I have here the Apm Power Module. So I get current and voltage feedback, which is kind of interesting to see the course to current, what kind of loading you're putting on it. And of course you can use it to estimate runtime. With that, you can use the Apm, put in your milliamp hours and the mission planner, and from there you're able to calculate your runtime. It also have an ultrasonic sensor here. This gives a rough estimate of distance. This is good because when you're full autonomous and you have something to block its path, such as a post or a car or something, it can sense it and then take evasive action to steer away from it. Putting it there makes for a good distance up, because you don't want it so low where something that would normally be able to jump across, such as a curb, it can still jump across a curb, but anything like a mailbox post that it can't exactly ride over, it can sense it, hopefully, and steer away from it. If you're interested in the way that I did this entire project, deep inside here is a 8-channel receiver. I use a FlySky radio, which I found to be a very good radio for the value. It's never failed me. I've actually had 2 of them. They work very well and really never had any problems with it. Never lost signal or anything like that. The ESC, of course, that's stock. I've never found a reason to it. I'm sure in the future I'll probably upgrade this thing to brushless motors, increase the speed a little bit, but don't really need to right now. It does pretty good by itself. So until then, I'm just gonna leave it with the stock power. I find it more than ample. I'm just running some lithium batteries. I'm running, right now I've got a 5,000 milliamp hour 2-cell battery. As you can see, everywhere I have on this is Velcro. I love this Velcro tape. The little double-sided Velcro tape does excellent for securing this. Since I use this transmitter in other vehicles, I can simply unvelcro it and it comes right off. Also have here for securing batteries and cables, and I've got my battery underneath here. It's Velcroed in place. These cables are Velcroed. What's nice about using the Velcro is that if you're in the field, you need to modify or adjust something or whatever, tie wraps, you cut them, you have to replace them, and make a mess. You gotta have something to cut them. With the Velcro tape, I can simply undo it, do what I need to do, and Velcro it back. I'm ready to go again. And plus, they're easier on cables because they're generally wider and softer. They're not as abrasive and are less likely to cut cables, because things like servo cables and whatnot can be fairly brittle or easily damaged. So the Velcro is more gentle on them, and that can make a big difference. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've gone over a fair amount. I know that people have some questions on exactly how I did it, but the main thing is that if you want to do this project, the main thing you need is get online, order you an APM module, 2.5 or 2.6, whatever. Get your GPS, get your 3DR radio, and any other gizmos you want, such as the on-screen display, the power module monitor and all that stuff, or the ultrasonic sensor. All those things are really cool, but the main thing is the APM module, GPS, and 3DR radio. It's the main things you got to get. And from there, hook it up to your radio, and hook this up to your servos and your ESC, and download your firmware, and you're ready to roll. Also, you got to download Mission Planner. And then if you have any questions, let me know.